The new Vancouver iTech Preparatory campus is nearly complete. Located on the Washington State University Vancouver campus, it's the product of years of work by the school district and support from Vancouver voters. Together, we're revitalizing Vancouver public schools. I'm Superintendent Dr. Steve Webb, and today I'm getting a tour of the new school with its principal, Darby Meade.
It's amazing. We're really excited. The process has been pretty unbelievable. We've probably 2 or 3 years we've been working on with core team from the building, LSW Architects in the district, working on kind of designing it. So to have that initial vision and be able to create that and then see it actually built is pretty amazing. So I think amazement is my initial feeling.
Tell me about this space.
So
what do we have?
This is kind of, we talked about the center of the building, kind of building it around collaboration and building it around that idea that we come together as a learning community. There's a huge central space that's built around kind of that core collaboration. Us coming together and working together and solving problems is what we do, and the building is created in that way. There's a center area with collaboration spaces, with fabrication labs where people can come together and work and create and innovate. There's going to be stairs that go up here.
We call them learning stairs,
Learning
right?
stairs, the learning stairs, and kind of this central gathering space where kids can come, work together, and also this will be where we come together as a community. There's going to be a large projector on that wall, so this is going to be our auditorium. This is going to be our area where we can come together, where students can demonstrate their learning, where they can practice giving presentations to the group and things like that. And it's going to be a space that we haven't had yet, where we can come together as a community and you know, if there are things that all kids need to hear, if there are things that we need to share and celebrate,
sort of showcasing capstone projects, exhibitions of learning.
Yep, absolutely.
Nice.
We can all come together when we have our demonstrations of learning. You know, with all of our students, they'll be around in different areas, but this is an area where we can kind of kick that off and highlight the work that we're doing here.
In early conversations with then Chancellor Dendrick, he was intrigued by this notion of a K-16 partnership that provided not just a pathway for students in STEM-related fields, but an opportunity to build the brand of the university. And quite frankly, I think it's taken a considerable amount of time and energy and resources and partnerships and communication and planning and collaboration, but we've achieved the vision. Talk a little bit about how deliberate some of the design work has been around integrating problem-based, project-based learning and really the application of design thinking as central to the kind of learning experiences that kids have here at iTech.
I think it goes beyond just integration. I think design thinking, innovation, inspiration was where we started. So as we started to develop, you know, the ideas for the building, we talked about what are our core values? What are our core values around kids designing, around kids creating, around innovation, design thinking? And we started there, as opposed to starting with the school building and integrating. We started there and we built from there. And everything that we did was focused on kids and teachers being able to come together as a learning community and really take what we have done so far to the next level. In the aspect that, you know, kids can have the freedom to move freely, to work where they need to come together in small groups or large groups, to have access on every floor to a fabrication area where they can create, to have access to you know, banks of computers where kids can work on special projects, and it's been an opportunity for us not to integrate, but to create around those principles.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate the passion that's brought to bear around, frankly, authentic learning experiences, right? I mean, these are the kind of life skills, future-ready skills, regardless of the pathway that graduates from iTech take, will need to be successful regardless of their career. When I see the building and the opportunity that it presents, not just today, but for decades of children in the future, it's a source of pride and a source of collective achievement for this community.
This is our art room.
So this is Mr. Wyckoff's space?
This is Mr. Wyckoff's space.
Right
so,
on.
We've got a kiln room in here where kids can create pottery and that type of thing. We've got glass walls.
Is the kiln on? Because it's really hot.
It might be. They might be curing something. But, so we've got windows and things where where we can display work, because one of the things with authentic learning is the process is always on display.
Yeah.
So everything, people can see what we're working on. And that's one of the things we do as students, as teachers, as staff, is we make our learning and our mistakes and our failures visible,
very public.
and very public.
Yeah.
And so one of the themes throughout the building is visibility, right? Being able to see what the process is. Maybe somebody's writing concepts or ideas up on the window, and those stay. But being able to see at every level how the learning process really works. We don't have it all figured out as teachers. Yeah, there was a ton of input. So there was the community process and the bringing in ideas from the community initially, and then taking that with a core team from our building and taking back to students and teachers the ideas that we were coming up with, and really had the opportunity to identify what were our core values and what do we believe, who are we, and then create a building that embodied that. And so it was an amazing process. This is going to be our gathering space. In addition to the kids on the stairs, we can put people around the outside, and they'll still be able to see, if we're having presentations down below, still be able to see the screen, and
so
also
sort of balcony
third level,
seating.
kind of balcony seating. So it gives us an opportunity without having a dedicated auditorium space. It allows us to bring everyone together and get that same concept in a multi-use space. And that was one of the things we looked at through the whole process, is flexibility. How do we create an environment that meets our needs today, but also meets the needs we don't even know we're gonna have for 20, 30 years down the road? So
this whole notion of a program that is deliberate about building the adaptive skills, future-ready skills in our graduates, are replicated in the process by which they've designed the school and by which they're planning to make the transition over the winter break into the building. And this notion that this school in and of itself as a building has to be adaptive, because we do not know today what skills and learning experiences our students will need in order to achieve the kind of future-ready skills 30 years from now. Talk a little bit about some of the shared learning spaces and how that might invite the kind of business and industry partnership opportunities for students.
yeah, so the classroom right down there is going to be, that's designed for that idea of partnership and bringing in STEM professionals to work with our students and have a mutually beneficial relationship where they get something out of it and our students also get a great, authentic learning experience. Plus, we have a lot of different spaces, and we'll walk around here and I'll show you one that allow for that. So if we have people coming into the building, this is a fabrication lab area. So this is not a designated classroom. This is an area, and fabrication lab is kind of a makerspace idea. That there's going to be tools. We've got the electricity coming down from the ceiling. It's a flexible space. Tables can move around. This building, our physics room is 2 stories, so they'll be able to do projectile launches and things like that. So the entire building is set up in a way where our students can come together and create and work on projects and develop ideas in a common space and still have the opportunity to get into those classrooms and things like that when that's needed. But it's going to, and then mentorships, being able to take our older kids and have them help our younger students. So that piece is going to open up for us. The ability for teachers to, high school and middle school level to work together even more than they do so already in developing projects, ideas, collaboration. That's going to be, there's just, it's endless. I mean, our program is at a point where we feel, it's running at a very high level, and student learning is very strong, and this is going to kind of blow the top off of that. I mean, it's going to allow us to take it to the next level. We don't have sports programs and things. Our competitive outlet is robotics. We have almost a quarter of our kids involved in the robotics program. And this is going to allow us to have both sites practicing on the same afternoons, and that mentorship opportunity of kids that have been doing it for 5, 6, 7 years to help the kids that are just starting out.
Nice.
And also then bring in, with the proximity to WSU robotics students to help mentor and things like that. So this is going to be the robotics room. There's a storage area in the middle, and there's a second one.
I'm sure the Raven Robotics team is just jacked about this space.
Unbelievably,
yeah.
Unbelievably. And that was another thing that I forgot to mention is when we have robotics tournaments, the cafeteria was set up in proximity to the learning space in the center of the building, the core of the building, so that it could be the staging area.
And this could be the
seating
competition
for here,
area.
and the competition
Nice.
area will take place down there.
And it's large enough to
yes.
put the ring in
Yep.
or whatever,
Yep.
right?
Yep. So these are our wet lab areas, and these will be the set areas where the plumbing is and things like that. And then around there, we have flexible seating,
sure,
in case they want to do Socratic seminar, things like that. So, and again, the high ceilings here as well. So the ability for
water, gas,
Yep.
and waste, right?
Yes.
Anything worth achieving often requires patience, perseverance, and tenacity. This was not an easy program and or project to bring to fruition. The genesis of the whole notion of iTech was we had more students expressing interest in STEM-related post-secondary pathways than we could provide opportunities in our existing programs in our comprehensive high schools. That was the genesis.
It's extremely unique. I mean, I don't know of any other place in the state that has direct access to not only a community college, but also to a four-year Division I research institution. And so being on campus allows our kids to take a variety of, prepare themselves with our classes, and then also take a variety of Clark and WSU classes, sit in on those classes, and have support back at the building if they need it. So it's been an amazing opportunity, and I mean, that's one of the things that consistently our kids talk about is that opportunity.
Yeah, sure. This is a national best practice school, recognized as a school to replicate. And I'm proud of that. I know Darby is proud of that. I know the board of directors is proud of that, and our community should be proud of that. We are at iTech and at Vancouver Public Schools extremely thankful and grateful that the voters did approve the bond that allowed us to build this building. And we hope to, in connecting with the community and in project-based learning, solving problems, identifying those problems in the community, hope to give back, as staff, as students, and as an iTech community. Thanks to Darby and the team working on the new school. This is one of many school construction projects happening across Vancouver, thanks to your bond dollars. To see what else is happening, go to vansd.org/reschools. You'll find the latest news on the projects and a schedule of what's happening in your neighborhood school.